broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
We are back here, week 2, Dancing with the Stars on AfterBuzz TV. I'm Kristyn Burtt, and we have got a lot to talk about My Jam Monday. So let's get started by introducing everyone here at the table. If you notice to my left, this is not Anna Trebunskaya. It is not. Nor is it Jules Tucker, who was also supposed to be our guest. But it is a very special guest who agreed to step in for Jules. You're also his roommate, right?
I am.
I know. I love this. It is Darvina Plante. Thank you for coming.
No, of course. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited.
Let's qualify you too, because you also live with Keo.
Yes, I do.
So you got the inside scoop on living arrangements, and then she went to school. I love this. From 9 to 16, you went to school with Mark Ballas and Suzanne and Derek.
I did. Yeah, we are. Mark is my bestie. Like, we are pretty tight. We've known each other for such a long time, and we lived like a couple of blocks away from each other. So, you know, just inseparable pretty much. And now we both live in the US, so it's just like the same stuff over and over again.
Yes. And now for the next hour, we'll get the inside scoop on everybody.
Yeah. Everyone, this is going to be good. Oh, and she's a trained dancer, so we want to qualify her, so you guys just definitely know.
Can we just... Her hair is ridiculously amazing.
It's so pretty. Hey, guess what? I have 2 other co-hosts at the other end of the table. Suri Serano.
Hello.
And showing off his muscles, Jake DuPree.
Hi, I'm Jake DuPree.
Flex. All right, there is so much to talk about My Jam Monday, because we do have 12 dances, and I feel like there were a couple issues that came up, and we've been talking about them on Twitter and on the internet and everything else, and I do want to make sure that we address them and everything else. No real opening number, just kind of a walkthrough with headphones. I want big splashy numbers on Dancing with the
I
Stars.
missed the opening number. That was really lame. I'm sorry, that was really lame.
I know. I mean, because it is Dancing with the Stars, and it is an anniversary season, so I just want to see bring everyone from every season ever, and just throw them out in the ballroom. I want to see it. That's what I want. Yeah, Rob Wade, just letting you know. Let's kick it off with Chris and Whitney doing the cha-cha and to a Pitbull song. We all know that #1 position is super hard to kick off with, and I felt like Chris was having a rough week, don't you think, Suri?
Yes, and he, he said that it was his that he had done better up until that performance, so he was really disappointed. And it's always disappointing when you perform not at the level that you were performing. I did feel, as I mentioned to you earlier, that he was very underscored based on the scoring throughout the evening after their performance. Yeah. Wouldn't you guys agree?
I completely agree. Yeah. If he would have done that dance in the middle of the night, he would have gotten at least all sevens. At least all sevens.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there were 5s thrown in there.
That was terrible. He did not deserve that. I feel like they're trying to punish him for some weird reason. There's something odd about that whole 5 situation. However, I was disappointed because last week I thought that he came out and he showed he had lots of rhythm and connection with Whitney. And this week I feel like it just was always it was like the rug was being constantly pulled out underneath him the entire dance. However, some of the hip movements, I was like, get it, Farmer. I like that.
He's got it. You were in studio last night, so what did you see live?
You know what I thought? I thought it was a lot in the routine for him, I think maybe in terms of being in one side of the stage and then running back over here and then doing this, I felt like he was a bit rabbit in headlights. I think it might be a better idea to just hone it in a bit, because he does have the hips and he's got, some bits going on for him, so I think as opposed to here, there, and everywhere, just let's see it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
Julianne did say she thought maybe there was a bit too much packed in there, and it would have been better to simplify it a little bit.
And we have to talk about, it's hard for Whitney. She was dealing with Alfonso, and it's like, oh, wait, I have to tailor back maybe just a little bit, take a small step back, and it's hard.
Yeah, and seeing her frustration, too, in rehearsal. I was kind of glad they showed that because it doesn't come easily just for everybody. Not that it's not coming easily to her, but it's just every style of learning is so different for every person, and she has she's a challenge, and I love that she meets the challenge and wants to challenge him as well with the choreography that she chooses.
And that's what makes the pros so amazing on this show, because each season they're dealing with someone one season that could pick up choreography like this, and the next season they're like, oh gosh, how do they learn? How do I teach them? Are they visual learners? Do I have to write it down? Like, whatever it is, you have to adapt to that contestant.
In 4 days.
In 4 days.
And I think that's the thing. They had 2 weeks before to get their routines down, and then it was 4 days. You know, and I spoke to Whitney about it, and she was like, you know, it's just figuring out it's different people's styles of learning. But she's, you know, definitely up for the challenge, and she is an absolute firecracker. Like,
exactly.
She will turn him into something. You just wait and see for sure.
Yeah, she doesn't go down without a fight.
Not at all.
Yeah, and I think he was crushed. I even saw on Twitter, like, his sisters had come in to see him, and he felt like he disappointed them. Oh, I know, it just hurt my feelings.
He should not have gotten 5s.
I'm a huge fan of his, so.
Yeah, 5'6", 5'5", and it's just like, come on. Even all 6s, I would have been like, okay, you know, opening one, you get lowballed.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
It
That's
was
really
low comparatively to, you know.
Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone. That's all we got to say. And then we go to the second couple, and I think really some amazing improvement. Suzanne and Tony, whole lot of shaking going on, doing the jive. Jake.
She looked so alive and just so happy. I feel like last week it was too much production value for her. Like, this was simplified, like what Julianne gave the note for Whitney and him. She was like, it was a basic routine. It was a basic routine, but she nailed the basic routine. Like, it was great, and she smiled, and I was just like, get it. And then some of her footwork, I was like, get it, Suzanne Summers. That was awesome.
Totally.
It really was.
I thought her footwork was really precise, you know, like there was she knew what she was doing, you know. I wasn't worried about the choreography, like she was going to forget it or anything like that. Like, she actually knew it, and she was doing it on her own.
Owned it.
Yeah, she definitely owned it.
Didn't she just look comfortable out there? I think that was really the big shift for me. Where last week she was thinking, you could see it processing her head, and she's just like, I got this. I'm good.
Her smile, like, she was just there in that moment with Tony, and it was so nice to see the two of them together, working so well together. It was cute.
Absolutely. I mean, when I was watching, I watched it a couple times, and we've obviously seen Tony do a lot of routines. And for me, I just was overall really impressed with what he put together and what they put on the floor.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I think one of us had mentioned this last week, but Suzanne Summers has done Vegas shows, one-woman Vegas shows for years. So that's what I was, like, looking for last week, because I know that she can own the stage and do this. And I was like, there she is. It probably was just nerves last week and, you know, trying to figure this out, what the rhythm of the show is. But
luckily that she didn't get voted off, because I think that she's capable of some really interesting things for this show. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring.
And she's 68.
Yeah.
Like,
love that.
Kill it.
You know, she doesn't look it at all. She looks absolutely amazing. Those legs. Are you kidding me?
Beautiful. Those calves, I was like, woo.
I'm so happy you mentioned that, because when she started saying, you know, this is for women everywhere, age is just a number, I actually started crying.
Sorry, tears.
Sorry, tears. Because it really is true. It really is true, and it hit home for me personally, and what a fantastic message. I know we've had people over the years, you know, be the Suzanne Summers of the show, but it's awesome to have it.
Yeah, it's nice to have a female representative of that. We had Tommy Chong last season, which I think inspired a lot of us. But and these won't be the only tears you shed in the show. All
They
7s
weren't.
across the board, so they should feel really good about that. 28 in total. Then we move to, I just love the energy of this couple, Robert and Kim.
Oh my God.
Foxtrot, you make me feel so young. Go ahead.
I loved it. It was such a production, like the beginning bit up on the stage there, and just everything. Kim is great. I love Kim. She's got so much energy, and the two of them together, it's just like a Disney movie or something. It's literally like magic. And, you know, he's not the best dancer. Let's be honest about this here. You know, he's not. His frame definitely needs some work, you know, but it doesn't matter with him. You know, you're seeing someone so successful coming on the dance floor. He just, like, no ego, no nothing, just really just going for it. For me, I was really impressed. I really loved it.
There's the smiles on the two of them, just the connection. I mean, like, clearly all the romance rumors, you can tell, because it's like the two of them just looking at each other, they just beam and they radiate, and it's the two of them on the floor. It's like, it doesn't even matter about the cameras or whatever, and that's what you see. It's a real live connection, and I'm so impressed by him. Again, I said last week, I didn't know who he was coming into the show, but he is not a performer. And the fact that he can go out there and nail it and have this smile and just be living and so happy, I'm just like, this is the kind of person I want to see on the show, and I hope that he lasts a long time.
For sure.
Well, he's like several of our past contestants in recent seasons that we love the charisma and that energy that he brings. He might not be the best dancer, but you want to watch him and you want to root for him.
And you know you're going to see improvement on him too, because he wants to be there so badly. He I don't know if anyone saw the People article, but his mother, when she was dying of ovarian cancer, they watched it together. So when he got asked to do the show, there's a big sort of connection for the show and him and his mother. And I think she passed away in 2007. And he's been going through some personal things, and he just said, I've been very depressed, and I feel like for him, you see the cloud lifting. Like, you just see it, like, whoosh,
yes. And
shifting
dance
away.
does that, too.
It does.
And can we also talk about Kim's outfit for that? She is beautiful. I mean, it's not that I forgot about it because she's been out of the radar of Dancing with the Stars, but I'm so happy she's back. I really am.
Yeah, she brings a lot to the show, I think, and her creativity. She does something different. So.
Yeah. And when she was gone, we would always hear from people like, she's the nicest person ever. Like, no one has a bad word to say about her. Ever. But for him, I think we'll see some interesting things. There's a little bit of arm disconnection, shoulders, the frame, but he knows what he needs to work on. In fact, I think I saw somewhere online, and I can't remember where, but they were saying that they were practicing like on the media line last night, like practicing their next dance. They're just like ready. They're in it. They're in it.
So cute.
All 7s for 28. You should be happy with that score, I think. Yeah, really proud. All right, I'm going to rely on this one for a little bit of inside scoop because we've got Charlotte and Keo.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. California girls. And, maybe you can just kind of tell us, we'll talk about Charlotte in a moment, but sort of what Keo's mindset was after the week 1 show.
Well, I think Keo was, I think he was a bit disappointed with how, people were perceiving Charlotte. Obviously, the package, didn't really help the situation. And I think he was aware of that. And then Charlotte got a bit, she was really down about it. It really hit her hard. And, he had to try and get her through that emotionally. She's a human being at the end of the day. And what was it Keo said? He was like, she can't help it that she's beautiful. And it's true. Like,
it's true.
Hello,
she didn't choose that, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't. And she's out there doing it. So I think that he's doing a really good job of, trying to show everyone that. And I know that, it's hard with the beautiful looks and the outfits and stuff like that because people just see that. But I think he's actually showing some good content now. Like, her legs this week, amazing.
When that leg went up, when he caught it, I was like, right? I saw that split that she had last week at the very end, but that was great.
And she's not a gymnast, she's a model. Yeah. So it was like amazing to me. And she's really trying, I think she really is making an effort and wants to be there. And I hope that people actually start to see that. And I think that Keo's going to show more of just who she is as a person as opposed to the model, which I think we all kind of want to see now and just like get behind her.
We talked about that last week, just wanting to see more out of that package. And, I would never blame her because the producers take all this footage and they choose what they want or they tell them what to do a lot of times. And she is more than just a gorgeous girl. And I think we all want to see the personality and the smarts and the everything, gosh, those legs, hello, those gorgeous lines. We want to see that. And I think, thank goodness that they created the package that they did this week because we've been talking a lot about cyberbullying and it goes sort of hand in hand with Dancing with the Stars. And I don't know why, because I do So You Think You Can Dance. Jake, you do it with me. We don't see that same thing. No. So you have to have a heart and you have to feel for her what she went through. Suri.
Yes. First, kudos to Tom Bergeron for his comment about one thing that cyberbullying doesn't, take is courage.
So true.
And then Erin Andrews' comments, if you want to talk about social media, come talk to me because they attack my nose all the time.
She's hilarious.
It's so great. But, as you know, this week was especially hard. I was bullied as a child, and then, of course, I've been bullied heavily recently on social media. And so when I was watching her package, my heart just broke completely because I just know exactly what that feels like. And it's so awful. It really has to stop. And, Ashley Judd put something out there recently about, she made a silly little tweet about her favorite basketball team, and she was attacked. Like, her every part of her body was attacked. It's ridiculous. People are human beings, as you said. So, and something I told you earlier, just when I watch Charlotte, she's, yes, she's a model. She's not a gymnast. She's doing fantastic. What it takes as a non-dancer to go out and perform on any stage, let alone Dancing with the Stars in front of millions of people, it takes so much courage. And that's, I just applaud her for doing the show, and all of them putting themselves out there every week. It is not easy.
It's so hard. And it's even for the ones that, we also need to remember this, even for the ones that have dance training or that are really good, this show kills you. Yes. It just breaks you down, and you have to put your heart out there, but and your talent and everything else. So, for us to sit there and even give opinions, it's easy for us in comparison because we're not out there on the floor or in the rehearsals. We're watching, produced footage. So that's just something also to think about.
I really enjoy her a lot. I sometimes wish that her movement wasn't as timid as it is, because sometimes I feel like her little steps are kind of just right underneath herself. And it's like what they told Rumor. They were like, you go for it. Like, you attack those steps. I want that for her, because you can tell that she wants to give it, because she's always primping, and you can see that she's got a sassy attitude. And I just want her to nail it, especially with all those beautiful lines. Not everybody has that in that competition at all. Not even Rumor at some points. So it's she better own it and go for it.
She's got Nastia lines, leg lines. Yeah. I mean, you look at the two of them and I'm like, there are the leg lines that I would kill for. And I got short, stumpy legs.
She could produce really amazing work if she would just go for it. And I think that this week is her breakthrough week in terms of that. So I'm excited for next week.
For sure.
Yeah.
And 7676, we have had a lot of dialogue about the cyberbullying on Twitter today. So if you guys want to see more of it, feel free to go and check that out. And also, we put up a post on our site, which we now have thanks to AfterBuzz. It's dwts360.com. So that's where it all originally started, and we just took the dialogue and spread it out to Twitter and Instagram. So thanks for all responding to that. All right, let's move on to Michael and Peta, Foxtrot. Working my way back to you, which I'm a huge Jersey Boys fan, so this is great. I love the whole concept of it. I'm going to start with you, Suri, since you're our football fan here in studio.
I am. Well, I need people to understand that don't watch sports, that don't watch football. The NFL Pro Combine that he had going on in this week is literally you get an hour or two of your life to impress everybody, to have your dream career that you've worked your entire life for. So for me, yes, he was going to be distracted, and he was not going to have as much time to prepare. And I mean, that's your life, so I wasn't surprised. And for what he had going on, I thought he did fantastic. I thought he really I love watching him. He's so charismatic and fun, and his lines were great. His toes and arms, I want to see a little bit more extension, but I really enjoyed it. And, kudos to him for what he had going on.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you never even heard all that stuff about him preparing and stuff, you would honestly never know that he had anything going on, because that dance was so polished, so performance ready. I mean, seeing the rehearsal and then to that, I was like, that's ridiculous. He pulled it together, and that's what a true showman is for him. And I'm so happy for him, because I think he might be one of the best footballers that's ever been on the show.
Lofty.
Bold statement.
Because he's capable of movement. Some of them rely on personality. He has personality, but he has movement quality and dynamic movement quality, which is really exciting to see.
What'd you see in studio?
In studio, I mean, I loved the bit with the guys, the troupe. I thought that really added another element to it, when he leaned back and then they pushed him over and he did this little bit on his own, I like seeing that as opposed to them always being with their celebrity. I mean, they're pro. So I enjoyed that part of it. His butt is definitely
beyond.
So much butt talk all night.
No, but it was definitely out there. He has to work on that, because it is a little bit distracting. But
because it's so good looking.
I mean, it's awesome. I love it. But that being said, for the dance, it's not appropriate. But I mean, that's nitpicking. Really, being realistic. It's week 2 with everything that he had going on. He did a great job.
Yeah, and I think that they're a very striking couple out there on the dance floor. Peta looked incredible. In fact, my boyfriend, he was like typing on the computer. He's like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, that's Peta. She's gorgeous." Now you pay attention, whatever. But they really, I do like his commitment. I do like his focus. Obviously, his focus was a little split this week, but he still was able to pull it together for the show, which I think is really important. His feet are looking better. I mean, he's a football player, so he's got some big feet, and I think, some of the other dances he's going to probably have to watch that, or some of the dances if they're like the quick step might be tough. Not as tough at 5'3" for me with my small feet. Harder when you're a footballer. So, oh my gosh. What did we think of his frame this week? Was he better than last week? What did we?
It's what I'm like having trouble putting into words, because it's like it's good. I just want more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's that he's missing that like beautiful openness. It's more like closed in, which is still great.
He's so strong.
It's so strong through here, but I mean, he's gonna get it throughout the whole thing. I mean, like you said, like the quick step and stuff like that, being in hold the whole time, that's gonna be interesting. So we'll see. But I'm not worried about him.
Yeah, I think they can easily have a push towards top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that's I don't think that's going to be a hard goal for them, as if things keep on going this direction. All 7s. This is kind of where it became the 7 show, and then it kind of shifted to the 8 show, but all 7s for a total of 28. And then we go to probably one of the top couples to watch, Rumor and Val, doing the cha-cha, of course, to Rumor Has It. Ooh. Man, this girl has confidence like no other. Where's she getting it? Because it's like amazing.
A great mother and father. Sorry, I'm just going to say they are, and there's a lot of stuff behind that on that side. But you know what? I love her work ethic. I love her work ethic. Pushing Val, or at least it looked like that, on the package, which is fun. Why not? And I mean, she's a fireball and a firecracker. I loved everything that she did. I love the quickness. There was just my only, because I'm going to nitpick again, as we have a couple top level people.
We can't nitpick her. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Thanks, Jake. When she was, I wanted to see a little bit better. I don't know how to explain this. Maybe you can tell me. Better lines in her legs when she's walking and moving. It looked like she was crouched down a little too much, and her legs were really bent.
Do you know what
I'm talking about?
It was more like
certain parts.
It was more her arms that were. I feel like at some points they were like, it was so fast that she didn't get to full extension. It was just like kind of like bird arms,
almost like
a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good thing about this is that we can nitpick. So I love her, and truly, she's like one of my favorites on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. It's so funny. What I noticed in the studio is she doesn't watch anyone. Like when she's done, I didn't see her up in that box at all. Like she is like game time. She is a fierce competitor, and she's just like not worried about anything else that's going on. She just comes in there and she does it, and she nails it. Like I was in awe when she did that bit with the 2 boys, and she was like giving it. I was like, yes, girl,
yes.
You live. Like amazing. And her upper body has a little stiffness in it. It's something that Julianne mentioned about her needing to just like soften that up a little
and
bit.
Breathe, yeah.
And once that happens, wow.
Watch out.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things with Rumor that I just, I do like the fierceness. The level of like competition that she has is something that you see in Nastia, because like Nastia knows, she gets it. She was at the Olympics. Like she knows how to just laser focus and make it all happen. That's what Rumor has, and you don't normally see that like outside of the athletic world, which I think is really fascinating. I do love that she's given Val a little bit of like, yep, we'll do it again, because we usually see in the packages like, do it again from him.
Someone to.
Instead, she's like, okay, just pull my ponytail. I'm ready. Let's go. And so I think that this is going to be really fun for Val as well, because he's going to be able to take his choreography to a level that he doesn't get to every single season. And he knows that she's going to be like, I'm game. Whatever you need.
Contender.
Yep.
I think it's his season.
I did too. What was really interesting to me when she was talking to Aaron afterwards, she expressed how thankful she is to be in this position, to be able to dance and also be in front of America showing herself. And I worried originally, because she has such an edgy look, like middle America, like how are they going to respond and vote for her? But I feel like there's a true realistic side to her that's so relatable and welcoming oddly enough, because she's so edgy looking, that I think that she's going to be like sailing to the end, like literally sailing.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of people know her obviously from her parents, Demi and Bruce. We don't even need to name their last names, but she's a very talented performer. She does For the Record Live out here in Los Angeles, which sells out all of the time. She's an incredible performer.
Singing and dancing.
Singing and dancing, exactly. And we went to the same musical theater camp. So just saying, but no one wants to hear me sing, so I'm just gonna let you know that. no, but so it's privately, I'm like, yay, go stage door. Everyone knows that theater camp. It's the dorkiest one and the best one.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
I don't know it.
I don't either.
Now I do.
It's like a secret club. I kid you not. It's like a secret club in Hollywood. You're like, I went to stage door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret is out.
No, but like Natalie Portman went, Mandy Moore, the singer, not the choreographer. I know. A whole bunch of people. John Cryer.
Did she go? I think she did.
Maybe.
I remember saying something.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people. But I could go on for days. Okay, let's before we move on to the next couple, it is that time of the show, the epic time of the show where we talk about iTunes. Thank you guys for continuing to follow us on the podcast and on YouTube, which we're now streaming live each and every week. But you do have the ability on iTunes to rate us, and we'd like to do that with 5 stars if you can.
Please.
5. Yep. This is the big time.
It helps us.
It does help us, and we certainly appreciate your support. Suri and I have been here since season 15. Jake, you've been with us since season 16, and Anna as well. So we sure appreciate that, and thanks for joining us.
Oh, I'm so excited.
All right.
Love it.
Let's keep on moving on. You guys, I will let you know that Anna was unable to come today, but she will be back hopefully next week. And we just want to say that she did an amazing job again.
Yes, she did.
Second
She
week in a
looked
row.
beautiful, too.
She looks incredible. The woman that is styling her is just nailing it. But she has the most gorgeous canvas to work on anyway.
Exactly.
But I don't know if she'll be doing Dancing with Stars All Access next week, but it seems to be on a week-to-week basis.
Right.
We'll see what's happening.
Yeah.
But she's doing a good job, so maybe again. And then we go to Red Foo and Emma. All right. Well, last week I thought it was like the enthusiasm was there, but it was all over the place and like needed to rein in the energy. And I think maybe that's how people voted this week, because they were the couple to go home. But they had a really nice dance to go out on. And, if you have to leave, you want to go out on a high note. And that's exactly what I think they did with the jive and My Sharona. So I'll start with you, Jake.
I'm so thankful they had this moment to go out on. Like, what better way to be like, I left, and I left it all on the dance floor, and that's all I can do. I'm disappointed in the fact that he's going so early, because I do think that he could actually really do some cool things. I think that last week, maybe it was like too focused on branding, like we talked about that a little bit. That was focused on more like, this is who I am, instead of being like, I'm in this competition and this is who I am in this competition. So I'm disappointed in the fact that we're not going to get to see his progression through the show, because I do think that he would have been able to create true beauty in some aspects.
Now, sorry, you called this last week, so
I did. I didn't say Red Foo was going home, did I? I don't
know.
I just knew it wasn't Keo.
Keo, yeah.
I knew that it wasn't going to be Keo because of Keo went home week 1 last time. And so therein lies a surprise elimination, basically. Kind of a surprise. I mean, we could have picked a few others that could have gone home instead of Red Foo.
Yeah.
Certainly the bottom 2, even though it's not necessarily the bottom 2, I didn't expect both of those couples.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I thought maybe a different couple would have been swapped in there, but whatever. Yes, a fantastic way for them to go out. I watched some of the rehearsal footage during the week, which was, fun to get to see that other side of him that really we have never seen. So, it's disappointing, but somebody has to go. Yeah. And
wah wah. I just hate that. It's like such a bummer.
Go, and it's a little bit of a surprise, and I think, as I told you earlier, I don't think next week will be such a surprise elimination like that.
What was the mood when they say it's Red Foo and Emma?
Oh my God, everyone was totally shocked. I don't think anyone was expecting it. But now I'm thinking about it. I mean, even though he did improve, and I saw his want to do it, and I did appreciate that, and I was all about it. Someone does have to go home. That really is the bottom line. And it was him, I guess, I enjoyed his routine, but I don't know, I didn't really get to go on a journey with him as much as other people, and I think that's what we all look for when we're voting, and it just he just didn't connect with me. And not
Yeah.
that he didn't do a great job. Like, his kicks and stuff were great, you know. He didn't miss a beat. It was high energy and all of that. But, you know, obviously he didn't get the votes. So.
And you do have to hit them over the head, all the voting audience, right away with your journey. Like, this is why I'm here. This is what I want to do. Because you don't, you know, those first few weeks, you don't have a huge opportunity to just go, well, you'll warm up to me. Because people do vote out. It's tough.
I think he is very divisive in terms of, like, people responding to him being like, well, okay, that's a lot to handle all at once. Just being like, here it is, energy. So, I don't know.
You know what I kind of wish that we got to see, though, because, you know, he's got the crazy hair and the crazy look, and he's colorful and he's fun. Yes, sort of the Riker transition that we saw this week. You didn't get to see him, you know, sort of comb the hair and or slick it back or, you know, wear a tuxedo and things like that. And just to see what Emma would have done, because we know that she's taken so many different types of performers and gotten them very far. So
had less ability than he did.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
that's what's kind of disappointing in a way, is like, bless Emma, you know. She's managed to turn like some of the worst people on the show and get them like literally to the end. And then this one, I thought, you know, she could have got quite far with him, but no. So
yeah, it's like it's over before it begins.
The way it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
the cookie crumbles.
I know, no one wants to be that first person that exits ever. Okay, so this is where the scoring really gets a little like, I felt like this was like,
Very
we know
gifty.
you're going home.
Yeah.
Here's your 8 and 7, 8, 8. And it was a total of 31.
I thought that was really over the top.
It should have just been all 7s, I think, in my opinion. I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't if you're looking at some of the other 8s, no.
Absolute gift.
Yeah, that was, and I felt like the judges knew, like, he's the one going home.
I thought that too. Yeah.
An 8 for you.
An 8 for you. 8's for all of you. You get an 8. You get an 8. You get an 8. All right. This one. Okay, this is good because I just want to talk about, I love the concept of this. Willow and Mark doing the Argentine tango, somebody I used to know. And, you know, I think in the last couple seasons, we've just seen Mark knock it out of the park with choreography. It goes up a notch. His choreography is so creative in like the part of the left brain that I don't have. that I just appreciate it so much, because what he did with Sadie last year, you know, what he's doing with Willow, I'm just like, man, he's good.
He's such a vet on the show. He is such a pro, and I'm so glad that he's there because he steps it up every season. You know, when he tells me who his partner is, I'm like, oh my God. I get a bit worried sometimes. I'm like, how are you going to pull that out? Like, 14 years old. And she got on there, and the age was nothing. Like, last week, I think they played up too much on that. They put her first, which I thought was unfair. It's like, 14-year-old, let's go and bang her out on the first. Like, I thought that was a bit like...
She's so poised, though. Like,
she killed it.
That was not me at 14. I was like, whoa.
She's not the average 14-year-old. She's a very successful actress, and that comes with...
For sure, yeah, definitely. But this routine, it was such a story. She took us on a journey. I was just in it from beginning to end. She held her own. Her lines were absolutely beautiful. Like, just exquisite. And as far as I'm aware, she doesn't have any, you know, dance experience or anything like that. And I guess her acting, you know, is really helping because the dance was just great. And I felt like they were just a great partnership, you know? And like there's a bit in the dance where she put her head on Mark's shoulder, and it was so cute, but it wasn't just like, it just looked great. Everything about that routine for me was just top notch. Mark always does a great job at that with the beginning as well. I didn't really get to see the full effect of it until I went home and watched it back, and then I was like, yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
I mean, it definitely attributes the video that Gautier did with Kimbra, and it's awesome the fact that they like actually incorporated the two of them so beautifully into that mural. That was awesome. I loved the dance. I thought it was so interesting to see someone so young be so poised and graceful. I do think that there are issues with her shoulders at times, but whatever, like we can get there. I'm so excited for her too, because it's not that I didn't consider her as a contender for this show, but it was just like, okay.
Yeah.
But I really do think that she is going to get very, very far in this show, especially with Mark being so imaginative even more and doing these things. Some of the things that he creates, sometimes I'm just like, it's imaginative, but I don't get the point of it. But this is like, I feel like he's sculpting his Mark as a choreographer into this artistic, imaginative, like fully realized thing. And I think that's so exciting, especially for this show, especially because he's been on so long.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I just love everything he puts out there. He's, as you said, his creativity blows my mind. I love it. And, you know, when we look back on performances over the years, what do you remember? Which ones stand out to you? His will always stand out to you in some way. Most of them, I think.
Yeah.
I think you would agree with that. Willow, wow. Some of those, there were moments throughout the entire routine where I was like, woo! There was like picture, perfect, wow, oh gosh.
Yeah, if you went to Getty Images, you could probably pick out a whole bunch.
And that's good choreography for me, when you know that you can take a photo kind of anywhere, and it's like that. And the way she would throw herself on him, you know, it's not a 14-year-old. That is an outstanding actress, you know, learning how to dance and doing it well.
And you know what? The other thing, and this is so important, because he does oftentimes have younger contestants or people that maybe just have a different, you know, not a different set of rules, but I just would say a more conservative.
Strict guidelines.
Strict guidelines, whatever it is, whether it's, you know, well, I look at Candace Cameron, he did a great job with her, and she looks sexy every single week, but she was like, I want to be covered up. But I was like, woman, you look sexy. Yeah.
Yep.
Same with Sadie, same thing. And it's one of those things that I sit there and I look at Willow and I'm like, you don't feel like any of it was inappropriate. You felt like it was just beautiful movement. It was two people on the dance floor. I wasn't thinking, gosh, you're 14. You know, you're older than 14. It was so well designed.
I think also as an actress, she can own that choreography better than maybe somebody that has a little bit more restrictions and needing to kind of get past that barrier of being so close with somebody dancing. I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah, and maybe because with Sadie, where she's more of a reality personality, she would sometimes say, like, the rumba, it makes me a little bit nervous, even though she did a great job with it. In her head, she thought about that, and maybe that's where Willow is able to. Yep, she can sort of transcend that. And so you grew up with Mark. You have to give us like the inside scoop on him.
Oh God, he'll kill me. He's like, be careful. Like, I already got the warning text today.
He always warns. He warns Shirley.
He does.
He warns everybody. Do not say.
But everyone
bad.
says great things about him. He's on and off air. I mean, what was he like though as a kid?
Oh, well, it's pretty funny because he's always been, you know, well, he's not short by any means, but I've always been pretty tall. I'm 5'10", and when we were kids, he used to get picked on a bit, like when we take the train and stuff. He got mugged a couple of times, so I was almost like his little bodyguard. So when I was with him, he felt like he was safe. So, you know, bless his heart, he's just a great boy though, like a great person inside and out. He's had my back, you know, forever. He really, really has, and he's just such a talent. I'm really, really proud of him.
And he's got very talented parents. We've had both Courtney and Shirley in studio. Shirley's been a good friend to the show, and I love that they do speak their mind, and they're just like, this is,
Shirley definitely
definitely does it. Corky was
fantastic.
I don't even know.
So
Corky may have been. I think he was even more candid.
He was
more pointed than Shirley was,
really?
and
It's hard to do.
It is.
That's hard to do. I love them both. I can't make that.
I mean, what a talented family, though. I mean, really incredible performers. So, you know, it's no surprise that we see like Mark evolving, but it's just been a nice progression, I think, because sometimes we used to talk a little bit about like, oh, sometimes Mark is overshadowing his partners. It's evolved so much now. Like, it's
you know, he
so
was a
beautiful.
lot younger. How old was he when he started the show? I don't know, like 21. You know, he's 28 now, so he's grown up. He's a man, you know, and I think he understands the role of his position as a pro. It's to make his partner look good, you know, and he really figures out what he needs to do and thinks outside of the box, you know. He really does.
He's grown into a man right before our eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Our little Marky. All 8s across the board, 32. And see, that's when I see Willow and Mark's piece, and then I look at Red Foo, who got a 31. You're like, okay, those are out of line.
Yeah, that's
And that's what it is.
pretty much.
All right, all right, here's some more Suri Tears. We've got Noah and Sharna, the samba with Homegrown Honey. I had talked a little bit about my interview with Noah last week, but he mentions his family and his girlfriend nonstop. In fact, he didn't do other reality shows because it would not allow him to attend the graduation of his girlfriend from basic training, because that was like #1 for him. So you see how important this relationship is to him. Priorities. Yep, love that. So Jake, tell us about the samba. What'd you think?
I really liked it. It's so interesting because he can't move that knee, and it's like there's that kind of like hobble step that kind of happens. But I like that Sharna is kind of incorporating that with like whatever song they're choosing. It kind of has that like beat that he can kind of hit that way. The only thing I wish about him is that I want him to emote more in terms of just like sell it, just like be big and like bold in front of this crowd, which, I mean, I like that he's in tune with her, but I think he needs to incorporate the entire arena, in with him. That's the only critique I have of that.
And he had said to me that performing is the hardest thing for him. The physicality, because he does know his body very well, is actually a lot easier than the performing aspect.
Yes, I mean, and I think that I liked the judges all clicked in on that, and they all said, it's so nice that you know your body so well, with even your disability or whatever, that you can go and do whatever, and he can. It's amazing.
They did talk about that on All Access Dancing with the Stars last night, about that it is the hardest part for him is performing in front of that crowd. So I completely agree with you. I do want to see more, emoting for sure. And I love the number. What can I say? Wow, and dang, girl, that outfit.
Ooh.
Gosh.
Right? And his 8-pack wasn't bad either.
Tell us about the 8-pack live.
Oh my God. I was literally like, whoa, like it's real, it's amazing. Like I was like, yeah, thanks Sharna, love you girl. Cheers, mate. so amazing.
But you have to remember, I mean, I have never had an 8-pack, so I mean the level of fitness that you need to have to get there, because let's be honest, no, but you really think about that, to get to that level of fitness, the amount of training it takes for someone with all of their limbs. He says he uses ankle straps and ankle weights and things like to support his body on the left side, which is really interesting, just to see how he's adapted and everything. But to be able to create that level of fitness, not only physically but nutritionally and everything, and just
it's amazing.
It really is amazing. It's amazing when anyone does it, but then I sit there and think, wow, he just has figured out a way to make it all work for him.
And I think it's important for a lot of people to watch the show and see that, because they're like, if he can do it, I for sure can do it.
Right.
With all four working
no
limbs.
excuses, his attitude is just amazing. He has such a positive outlook on life, and he's so inspiring. I think he's a great person to have on the show.
Me too.
All lessons to learn for all of us, I think. 7-6-7-7 for a total of 27. So I think that was. Yeah. I mean, again, it's like that weird judging of like who's getting the 8s and who's getting like a 6 and a 7 and a.
Yeah. And not a dry eye in the house.
No.
Oh, yeah.
What a moment. One of my favorite moments I can remember in the last 6 seasons I've been, covering it with you. I'm not going to start crying. Someone else.
It was a great surprise, and I love that Tom said, we leak like a sieve, and I know some of your leaks, Tom.
And no one said a word. That's staff.
That was amazing. I was crying, that's for sure.
It was beautiful.
Nastia and Derek were next, doing a rumba to Ed Sheeran. I mean, like this. I know. It was really nice to see a classic rumba. I think that was in my mind. Just just being able to go there and do it. And Nastia does have. A lot of gymnasts don't get out there, even on floor exercise. Look at me, I'm like, floor X, and go out there and perform. Sometimes they just keep that stone face, and she was able to give. And I think they kind of said it came halfway through, but it's there. And so that made me happy.
Her legs, I think I stood up maybe 4 times during this. It was like, just like clapping my hands and being so annoying in my apartment. But I think this was stunning. Like, this was maybe my favorite rumba that I've ever seen on the show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I will say that.
I don't think I disagree with you at all on that.
And because there's one that I specifically stands out for me is Nicole Scherzinger with Derek, and that was beautiful, and it reminded me some of the movement quality, like the right develope and everything, was very similar to Nicole. However, Nastia, I said it last week, she's capable of literally anything that Derek is going to create, and that's the most exciting part. But also the toughest. Yeah.
I think Derek has his work cut out, because it's week 2. If he's not giving 9s, is not getting 9s every single show, there's a problem. Because she has the capability, So I think it's going to be a difficult one for him. And also, I just have to put it out there. I mean, realistically, are you going to get a bit bored seeing somebody that's just so amazing? Like, where's the rise and the fall? Like, I like seeing a bit more of the journey, but maybe she'll have a different journey. So, I'm looking forward to seeing, how their partnership progresses. But you know, for me, I am a little bit concerned because it's like, what are they going to be like? What's she going to have trouble with, you know?
True.
Her legs are already here.
Maybe a quick step. I don't know. I'm just trying to, maybe some of the faster dances are going to be harder.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
And I liked this week that she had been working on like chicken ribs. I call them chicken ribs, and like closing that in, keeping her like sway back, not so sway back. It was, I think, hers is like perfecting perfection already. So that's exciting, but also scary because it's like hope people vote. But she's partnered with Derek, so.
Where do I even begin with all of that?
I know.
First, to you, a lot of people, I mean, that's the thing. Some people prefer watching a journey like Kristyn does. I prefer the athletes that are amazing, and I want to see amazing dancing. Derek's going to push her. You know, he's got an insane schedule with what he has going on in New York. So I wonder, you know, how he is compartmentalizing everything. If anyone can do it, Derek can do it.
He can do it all.
He is going to push her, and she is going to stumble a little bit where we're like, maybe that wasn't her best or whatever, but 100% she's going to do anything that he puts at her. For me, watching this, of course, it was flawless, but I think the judges hit on this, that emotional connection, which is a little, I mean, she has a serious boyfriend, and that's her partner, and so I think that's what she's going to have to work on, you know, emoting, kind of what we were just talking about with Noah.
And I think Kelly Pickler had that same issue, like really connecting with Derek at the same time, and she did. She pushed through it.
Yeah, and another interesting thing to the whole like Derek thing, because you know he's doing the Radio City show, which is unbelievable. Henry is rehearsing with Nastia on Sundays and things like that. So you know, and then I love that Derek actually posted on Instagram the notes that he was giving Nastia, just like because they were videotaping and sending it back and things like that. And just the exchange of like how he's teaching and how he's working through Henry and everything else. And I think that there are some weeks that she's probably working with Henry a little bit more, just depending on the schedule. And it's already been said, like, if Derek misses the flight, Henry is dancing with her on Monday. So
But and who's better? You know, Henry is an incredible dancer, incredible teacher. You know, Derek trusts him implicitly, clearly. You know,
he's one of the Henry's one of the most technically trained dancers on that show, if not the. Great. We hear it all the time from everybody.
He's phenomenal.
Well, he can deliver anything. And the cool thing that's about Nastia too is that she can relate to both partners and learn to compartmentalize both of them and just be like, okay, I'm with you, and that's great.
Kind of an advantage too, a little bit.
Really? Is she speaking Russian with Henry?
I mean,
she could.
It could be an advantage in some ways, but it depends on how somebody learns.
I think it could be a disadvantage to some extent, because it's like, you know, you're building up a rapport with your partner, and then you're switching in and out. I just think it's a kind of a dangerous line,
and
but I'm sure Derek will figure it out. Exactly, maybe that's it. But you know, I know Derek, you know, will figure it out. He's great, and
so will she. She's
awesome.
An Olympian,
killing it. 9-8-8-9, first nines of the season. We saw Riker and Allison doing a very untraditional foxtrot, and I have to say this because I think last year the judges were really hard on Allison on her choreography, and I'm like, I just kind of love this year. She's like, I'm just owning it. I'm going to be unconventional. Watch me.
Loved it. That was my biggest note that I wrote down was I love that, and Julianne even mentioned it. You know, something on the choreo she did on the bridge. It was awesome. I loved it. It was Allison's stamp.
It was Allison's stamp. And the one thing I want to say, Riker, thank you for Cody Simpson. I felt like didn't really adapt to the show as much. Where Riker's like, you want to put me in a tux? You want to like do my hair all like you know conservative? Do it. Done.
Fully committed. Completely. And that's what Cody Simpson. He was just like. He wanted his image the whole time.
You have to, you have to
let
it
it
go.
Yeah.
And just go with the flow.
Fantastic.
Oh, it really surprised me. One thing, his trousers were really tight.
I know, his little legs, they're so cute.
His little legs are adorable. But I thought they were great. I really did. I was a bit worried about this dance, to be honest. I was like, how is he going to adapt to this style of dance? But I was pleasantly surprised. He has some really nice arms going on for him. So.
And I think maybe you last week it's like you watch, most of the time we watch Allison, always. But this season, I feel like she's learning her role as a professional, that it's like about that person, because she goes so full out, but she's like kind of not stepping back, but she's like, this is his moment, and I'm here to like support that. So it's really nice seeing her progression.
And they're perfect fit on energy level. That's really makes me happy, because she's a bundle of energy every time she's here.
She really is, even more so than you can see on TV.
Yes. She is like, and she's so tiny. And she's like,
I can't wait to see the two of them do contemporary because that's going to be beyond amazing.
Yes.
All 8s for them for 32. I was really happy with that. Another couple, I think, that can easily make the finals. So, and then, man, Twinkle Toes, Patty, Miss Patty, with Artem. And I didn't know I was going to love this couple so much.
Right.
And I'm obsessed.
You are?
I'm obsessed with Patty and Artem.
Really?
Yeah. I've always been obsessed with Artem's abs, so let's just be honest. But now,
him in general.
Artem is
very
just
good
sexy.
looking boy.
Miss Patty, though, she's so warm. Yes. I think Diva, and the warmth that oozes out of every pore of her makes me so happy. Into club. Salsa. Go, Jake.
The fact that she chose that song is the coolest thing that's ever happened on this show. Like, it's amazing. I can literally watch an entire 2 hours just of, like, dances of the two of them. Like, I think she is so cool. Like, the fact, like, even the moves, they were just, like, chill and just oozy and just groovy. That's what it was. It was so nice. I mean, I'm obsessed with her. And the fact when everybody was like cheering for her and she was just like, thank you. She was just like, I wanted her to say it was like, you're welcome, everyone. Like, you're welcome. Because that was good. That was really good.
I didn't know what was going on up there. But I know I was loving it. I was just like, yes, Diva, work. But it was just, when I heard the song, I was like, are you kidding? This is amazing. I literally was like, what's happening? I don't know. What are they doing?
I don't know. Lindsay started with her bottle of champagne and off it went.
What dance is this? I don't know what it is.
The feathers that she had on.
I didn't know. What did they do? What was it? A foxtrot?
It was a salsa.
I don't know.
And my boyfriend was watching with me. He's like, it's a cha-cha. I'm like, no, it's a salsa. He's like, a cha-cha.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know, but
do you care though? No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I absolutely loved it. Her groove is just no other. It's so chill. She's so comfortable in her own skin, and that just resonates with absolutely everybody, I think. When you're in there's just an energy. She just draws you in. She just captivates you. You're just like, yes. Whatever it is, and it could be the simplest move, but she does it for me. I am absolutely impressed with her. Like, I was so shocked. I never thought she was gonna do that.
And she had a knee injury, and she's like, I'm going, honey.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
I think it's a good pain. I was like, that's good. And I love the part where she was in the stage, and it was all the 5 dancers around her, and she was in the middle just killing the choreography. I was like, this is so cool.
Nothing's gonna stop Patty but Patty is what she said.
I love that.
Me too.
What was it she said at the end when she was like, what would you like to say? She was like, thank you very much. Like, it was just so simple and just, like,
it's what we want from our divas.
It's elegant and it's sassy. Yes. It's just everything.
God, I love her.
All 7s for a 28. Just, ending the night on it was a great night.
Yeah.
My Jam Monday is never really my favorite week, honestly. And this year I was like, or this season, I was like, I was feeling that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Next week is Latin night, which will be fun. I didn't mention it, but let's give a shout out to the crabs. Jenna and Sasha.
Oh,
left crab and right crab. They're amazing.
I'm over here like, what?
The crabs.
Who are the crabs?
Who is that?
Are they fans? What are you talking about?
Jenna and Sasha. Always being game for whatever they throw them.
Yeah,
I mean, Jenna's been a plate in Beauty and the Beast. Like, they just said, like, here's a big costume, wear it. It's awesome.
I love it.
Awesome.
I want to leave this on one note because I know the Huff fans will be like, but you didn't. What was Derek and Julianne like as little ones? I mean, was Derek like super focused the way he is as an adult?
Yeah, Derek is always, like, he's so creative and he's always had that about him. Derek and I, we've kind of had our ups and downs, shall we say. But I love him to death, like, he's like my family too. They all are. But he's a bit more, keeps himself to himself. Do you know what I mean? But he's a great guy, and Julianne is too. But Mark and I were the ones that were more like inseparable.
I think for Derek, it's got to be so hard. Everyone wants something from him now, and it probably makes you feel more closed off because he doesn't have a lot of privacy anymore.
And also be working so much too. Like, what time does that leave for people that are in your life?
Yeah, he has to keep very focused. And Julianne, like, nailing it the last couple of weeks, fashion-wise.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to bring that up each week. I mean, literally.
What? Amazing.
Breathtaking. Hats off to her stylist team.
Hair and makeup people too.
And another beautiful canvas they're working with. So
Right? That dress on the first week.
nailed it.
whoa, that was just insane.
The
And
yellow-
then this week too.
The AfterBuzz yellow dress was gorgeous. I love yellow.
Yeah,
when
me
you can
too.
do yellow,
When you
Do
can
it.
do it, that's
when you can do it,
Yeah.
it's the key.
Yeah.
You guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us here this week. Jules will be in next week, so he says. We know Jules.
not,
You know, he
don't worry.
promises. You have to be on him now.
I will.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This was really
you for
fun
having
and
me.
stepping
Thank
in
you.
for Jules. Tell
Lovely.
us where everyone can find you.
Me, I am on Instagram, DivaDarv, and Twitter, DivaDarv also. So
Suri Serano.
because I have a blog too. So
Yes.
All right, at Suri Serano on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Sorry, I was trying to rush for you.
You can find me on Twitter at Jake_DuPree, on Instagram at Jake DuPree, and on Pop Sugar Fitness.
And the Jake DuPree on Twitter always answers Jake's tweets
yes.
if you do the wrong one. I'm at Kristyn Burtt on Twitter and the Kristyn Burtt on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for joining us. We will see you all
guys.
next week.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.